Brief Guide to Studying Music for Young Musicians and Their Parents is a three-part video series prepared by the Vancouver Burnaby branch of the BC Registered Music Teachers Association. To illustrate the process of studying a musical instrument, it's helpful to think in terms of a learning pyramid. A secure foundation must be prepared to ensure long-term success. In order to do this, the student must have enough time to grow emotionally and physically. This will allow them to develop a solid skill set and effective work habits that will support them in the higher levels. As they start to understand the fundamentals of their instrument, they will be able to take ownership of their work. They will learn how to learn, which will eventually allow them to become independent, and once lessons are finished, they will be able to continue with a lifelong enjoyment of music. An inadequate pyramid foundation will result in a lack of understanding of the basics. This, combined with poor reading skills and ineffective physical technique, will mean that precious lesson time will be wasted in teaching notes, rhythm, fingering, etc. Progress will slow down substantially. Students may start to feel overwhelmed and underprepared, resulting in musical burnout and possibly a desire to quit music lessons entirely. Let's look first at the pyramid as it applies to math. In the first tier, students learn about numbers and how to count. Then they move on to addition, subtraction, as well as multiplication and division. Once these lessons are absorbed, it's time to shift to the second tier of the pyramid. In this stage, students master fractions, decimals, and problem solving. As long as their understanding of the principles is secure, these equations may be challenging, but not overwhelming. In the third tier, students are presented with algebra and trigonometry. Once again, if they have a solid base on which to build, learning these new concepts will be well within their abilities. If not, students will begin to feel inadequate. They may struggle and possibly fail or drop out of the courses. The final tier is the most challenging. If there are any weaknesses in the levels below, the mastery of calculus will be extremely difficult. If we apply the learning pyramid to the study of music, it's evident how, even though the subject is different, the process and the end results are similar. In the first tier, with the preparatory and levels 1 to 4, students learn about notes, rhythm, how to count, and how to read. They develop motor skills as well as musical skills and improve the coordination between their eyes, ears, hands, and feet. Once these skills are absorbed, it's time to move on. In the second tier, levels 5, 6, and 7, students improve on the skills learned in the first stage and add more demanding concepts to their repertoire and technique. If taught properly, they begin to learn and practice more independently and to make their own choices and interpretations. As long as their control of the principles is secure, they will be able to progress with confidence. In the third and fourth tiers, if enough attention has been spent on the basics, lesson time is focused on the advancing technical challenges and musical ideas. This is the fun stuff, and it makes all the years of preparation truly worth it. Looking at the completed pyramid, it's easy to see how each stage is built securely upon what came before. It is a balanced structure that will allow students to learn successfully in stages that match their physical as well as emotional development. In the inverted pyramid, less time is spent in the elementary and junior levels. While this may allow for quicker progress initially, it comes at the expense of a secure foundation. At the intermediate and senior levels, it takes longer to learn new material as reading skills are often weak and lessons are used to review techniques that should have been mastered earlier. The difficulties are compounded if the previous levels are incomplete or skipped entirely. The inverted pyramid is fundamentally unstable and unsustainable. In the long run, it more often than not leaves everyone disappointed. But the collapsed pyramid does not have to happen. Part 3 in this series offers suggestions on how to better navigate the learning process with reasonable expectations and appropriate parental involvement, as well as finding the right teacher.